Career technical education means more than making a paper airplane. Understanding Community Leadership, FCSC 4117, Section 40. Amy Windmeier, December 9th, 2019. When thinking about career technical education, I think about the analogy of making paper airplanes. Students just don't need to fly paper airplanes, they need to fly actual planes. And so we found that in the world of Wheatland High School, there's a lack of opportunity for high school students to participate in career and technical education. We found here in Wheatland that ag communities no longer have access to young employees who have been exposed to ag-related careers. Local industries are limited in employee resources that are trainable. A lack of career education blindfolds non-traditional students' options for careers they may know nothing about, and it handicaps communities because younger generations can no longer work at home. So in my proposal, I believe that the students and citizens of Wheatland will have opportunities to skills and technical training that will benefit them, local employers, and their community to pilot Wheatland High School into the future. Living in a world without CTE, where it's inevitable that we'll have a plane wreck. For example, without CTE, the high school will experience higher dropout rates, an untrainable workforce, lower incomes, and higher poverty levels. If we choose to implement CTE, according to the actonline.org website, 91% of high school graduates who earn 2 to 3 CTE credits enrolled in college. They in turn had higher incomes and technical careers. It also lowered our teen pregnancy rate. The graduation rate is also 93% as compared to a national average of 80%. Let's use a community example. Case in point, Laramie River Station. Ponder for a moment what can happen in 1,500 years. The average lifespan will lead us to believe that 19 generations will come into and leave this world. There are roughly 19 generations worth of experience working at Laramie River Station. However, we are being overcome with retirements, and roughly 15 years of plant experience will be walking out the door in 5 years. That means 19 generations of in-depth knowledge of plant operations and maintenance will be leaving LRS in 5 years, not 1,500 years. The station is unprepared and has limited access to trainable employees. So how are we going to resolve this issue? We hope to collaborate with local high schools to impose upon them technical training that will help gear high school students towards career and technical education. Now, as we look to the future and we look at key stakeholders in our initiative, we look for co-pilots to a successful CTE program at Wheatland High School. Some of those key stakeholders are superintendents, teachers, and students. And on the power attitude grid, we'll see those with a positive attitude and a lot of power. They would likely be teachers, principal, parents, and school boards. Those that might have a negative attitude but have a whole lot of power, like money, would be Laramie River Station, car dealerships, and Wyotech. And then those that might not have a whole lot of power, but they have a very positive attitude would be students and newspaper. Superintendents are able to influence school board members, teachers, and parents. They may not have a whole lot of positive aspects for them themselves because they have to alter school budgets to meet the criteria for CTE training. Teachers and students, however, they would be those that would be very positive because they'd be able to broaden their curriculums, pursue things that they may not have thought of before. When I think about engaging social capital for this initiative, I think about flying the social capital skyways. That means that when I am dealing with my stakeholders, I need to maintain trust, reciprocity, and durability. I need to ensure that communication is created or is utilized to create shared meaning. I need to rely on every individual's well springs and filters because they're built on their individual values and they can be utilized to promote their own interests within the initiative. I need to be specific in goals and take responsibility. I also need to be adaptable. Not all careers are going to revolve around welding or mechanics. Somebody might want to learn to be a chef. I'm going to value each and every stakeholder's diversity, and I want to build bridges, or what I like to say, runways, that allow all of these groups to work together. When getting the group together, forming a coalition seems to be an excellent option for the success of this project. So when we're flying in the CTE coalition, we can see that it is going to be made up of teachers, principals, parents, school board members, local business representatives, and these members must have a clear focus to a means and not to an end. Their roles and responsibility must be mutually agreed upon, and eventually the coalition will grow to include local businesses and members alike. Once the coalition is formed, we can think of it as co-piloting. When we're co-piloting, we have to remember that each member is recognized for their self-interest and the purpose of the goal. We also have to recognize that each part of the group will foster communication, growth, and respect. Each member will be recognized for the contributions they offer the group, and they will be assigned goals. Members will be encouraged to take ownership in the initiative, and their role will be mutually agreed upon. Conflict might arise, but it will be seen as an opportunity for improvement, and compromise will be the group goal where members collaborate on resolutions and initiatives. Regular meetings and communication will be expected of all coalition members. So when I'm reviewing the CTE flight path, I think about the lessons that I've learned along the way. I've learned to be specific in my goals, that I need to start small to think big. I've learned about conflict resolution strategies and opportunities for growth that they provide. I've also learned strategies for building social capital and that thinking in terms of groups instead of individuals is key.